And now, a public service announcement about the dangers of texting and walking at the same time. Hey babe, how's it going? LOL, BRB, OMG, MOUSE. So, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that at least my phone is in the trash can with me this time around. The bad news is I forgot to charge it last night, so the battery's dead. I can't really call for help now. Why ruin tradition now anyway? Well, I might as well talk about some trash, since I'm in the trash.
Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit.
Welcome back, one and all, to another episode of Trash Reviews, where I take a look at the trashier side of cinema. Today we're looking at a very innovative action vampire movie made for only $7,000, and that is At Dawn They Sleep. At Dawn They Sleep is a shot-on-video movie that came out in the year 2000, directed by Paulin. This guy has a decent following in the underground horror film circuit, directing such films as Fetus and Bone Sickness, which get pretty extreme, but we'll talk about that some other time. The plot of this film is rather original for a vampire flick. You have these two friends who also happen to be drug dealers, and they're having trouble with a rival drug gang. One evening, they end up sleeping with two random women that they've met in the night, and it turns out that these women are part of a group of renegade angels that turn humans into vampires. It seems that this group of angels don't appreciate how God seems to love humans more than them, so as an act of revenge against humanity, they turn people into vampires so that they can go out and kill more humans. As you would expect, our two main characters, Stephen and Ian, end up getting turned into vampires. And what we get is a very fun, very impressive, micro-budget vampire flick. I've always appreciated when a movie takes a well-known legendary monster and tweaks the legend here and there to make it something different, or at least a little different, much like with how Shattered Dead created their own unique spin for a zombie movie. At Dawn They Sleep creates its own unique spin for vampire movies. I've seen plenty of micro-budget horror movies, and I've loved a lot of micro-budget horror movies, and I've seen plenty of what-the-fuck kind of micro-budget movies, but this was my first time diving into a micro-budget action movie. This movie only had a budget of $7,000, and I have to say, as an action movie made with such a small budget, I was very impressed. Now, this being an underground micro-budget horror movie, it has all the usual traits: nudity, violence, gore, all the stuff we love in these kinds of movies, and it is well done. But there are also some very competent action sequences throughout. There's one particular shootout done in this film, and it's done in the style of John Woo shootout. So you have people firing their guns, flying through the air, doing all these crazy moves, and it's a lot of fun. Since this is a micro-budget movie, this scene is a bit rough around the edges, but it's still well done. But what truly blows my mind in this $7,000 budget action movie is they put in car stunts. Not just car chases, but some legitimate stunts. We have car crashes. Hell, there's even a scene where they flip a car over. Can you imagine doing a scene like this with $7,000? But the most impressive scene to me is when one of the main characters is being chased by a guy in a car. He's on foot and there's a guy in a car chasing after him. The main character runs into his house and the car drives into the house. Watching this scene and knowing that this movie only had a budget of $7,000, I think holy shit are the only words you can use to describe this. The behind the scenes of the Blu-ray shows how truly innovative this movie was. They built 2 walls and put furniture in these 2 walls, making it look like a house. They put a door in one of the walls, and then they filmed this in one take. The character runs through the door, and then we see the car driving into the building after this. Now, just to put things into perspective, 2 of the most successful low to micro budget movies are Paranormal Activity and The Blair Witch Project. Mind you, I have a lot of respect for both of these movies, but this is just for the sake of putting things into context. The Blair Witch Project had a budget of $60,000, and it's mostly people wandering around the woods. Paranormal Activity had a budget of around $15,000, and there's some good effects work done in that, but it is mostly people sitting in their bedroom or around their house waiting for something spooky to happen. At Dawn They Sleep had a budget of only $7,000, less than both The Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, and they put car stunts in their movie.
And I said, pick a number between like 4 and 10. And he said 6. So I said, all right, that's how many cars we're gonna wreck in the movie somehow.
And the plot goes down an interesting path. One of the vampires eventually makes a deal with a demon because the demon wants to go against the angels. So you have these 2 people turned into vampires eventually being used as a pawn between angels and demons.
There's no fate worse than the death of a soulless being. You'll be swallowed into eternity of blackness, lost forever.
That bitch robbed me of my life.
There is a lot to admire about At Dawn They Sleep. It has original vampire lore. They create their own lore for the movie. It does so much with such a small budget, including action sequences. I think that anybody who wants to make their own movies should check out At Dawn They Sleep. It shows that you can do a lot with a little, and it should be praised for that. Thank you all so much for joining me in another episode of Trash Reviews. I hope you all continue to enjoy this odd series, and if you'd like to see me continue to be a weirdo, please consider liking this video and subscribing. I hope you're all having a better day than I am right now, and I hope you all continue to have a good day. And just a little advice for everybody. If you find yourself getting stuck in trash cans a lot, remember to charge your phone before you end up in one of these. Yeah, I know I'm the only person who has this problem, but hey, at least I care.